Roll Tide, everybody. We got some breaking news on a Sunday. Happy Father's Day to him. That's Brett Elmore. We call him Big Sexy Elmo. I'm Mick Gillespie. Alabama not stopping on a holiday. They've just added a big-time recruit, a guy that's going to help out on that defensive line, London Simmons from Flowood, Mississippi, coming to Alabama. That is breaking right now. So we're going to talk about him, what it means to Alabama, and we'll get into that right here. So make sure that you like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. We're going to get this live show started. Pop. We're on the air. Here you go. All right, everybody. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide, Brett. Adding to the recruiting class, breaking right now. And we just felt like we had to jump on since we didn't do a show today. But now here we are. We knew that something was going to happen, didn't we, Brett? We were planning this all day.
We did. We've been waiting all day long, and boom, boom goes the dynamite. Here comes the big guy from Flowood, Mississippi, the 6'3", 295-pounder. I'm going to round him up to 300 because that sounds better. He was in Tuscaloosa, I think, this weekend.
Yeah, he was.
And he must have really enjoyed that visit because he has committed to Alabama. We talked about this guy, the number 67 defensive tackle, number 15 player in the state of Mississippi per 24/7 Sports. He had a big season last year. Plays at Hartfield Academy. They're like 6A there in Mississippi. Won the state championship, as a matter of fact, and this guy had a lot to do with it because he had 80 tackles. 25 of those, Mick, were for a loss, 15 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles. My goodness. And this makes the second defensive lineman to commit, joining that 4-star that committed Antonio Coleman. And that's big news here on a Sunday.
Yeah, credit Andrew Bone and his crew for finding out about the big fella. You're right. Freddie Roach was in contact with him a bunch. Alabama liked this guy. This wasn't one of those deals where Alabama was late to the party. This was one where he wasn't getting recruited a lot, right? Wasn't it NC State? It was like the only place. Yeah. But Alabama saw something that they really liked in Simmons, offered him a contract. He started getting a flood of offers. But, Coach DeBoer, he liked Coach DeBoer, what Coach DeBoer has done as a head coach. Obviously, being from Flowood, Mississippi, you're not too far from Tuscaloosa. You talk about that. I talk about the circle, the perimeter that Alabama, almost like a casting net. If you ever go fishing and you throw the casting net in there, it's kind of the same thing, right? You got to cast that net and bring in the big targets from the perimeter around your city and your state. He's one of those guys. And, you can never have enough help up front. Simmons obviously brings that to the table. And, they really liked him. They liked him early. And that played a factor in this, and this is going to be a great fit for Alabama to add to this class, which is climbing and climbing and climbing. He is right now a 3-star. He'll be a 4-star before it's all said and done. Yeah, and Alabama's recruiting class just continues to get better and better. It's like DeBoer and company, just like Dead and Company that's playing out in the Spear in Vegas. And I see you got your Dead shirt on. DeBoer and company are just doing it, man. I mean, these guys are motivated. They're locked in. They've targeted the players they want, and they're getting them.
Yeah, and he took that visit over the weekend, and but he was on campus, I think, a couple weeks ago for a high school camp, and he got to spend some time with Coach Roach, and I think that's helped out a whole lot. Um, they've obviously developed a very good relationship with him, and here we are on a Father's Day at nearly 6 o'clock Central Time, and we get this commit. It seems like it always happens on a Sunday. What's
Always,
up
man.
with these guys?
I mean,
But we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming.
I told you that a couple days ago. I was like, man, don't worry about Saturday. Sunday is DeBoer's day. He likes to drop those nuggets on Sunday. So, they said that there was a chance he was going to commit in July, but just went ahead and knocked it out, get his name in there. It by committing now, it just adds to the momentum that this recruiting class is having. And then his effect on other guys that are out there that are on the fence or maybe considering Alabama, and they're looking at another really premier player coming to Tuscaloosa. And it also proves again that DeBoer has connected with not just those guys from California, which he's done an excellent job of getting, but also these guys from Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia. I mean, he's netted those guys as well here in the last few weeks in this recruiting class.
Yeah, and sort of like James had popped in on the comment section. It said, all of these doubters who said he couldn't recruit the South. Well, what he has proven is not only can he recruit the South, he can recruit all over the nation. Look at what we're getting out of California. Look at what we're getting up north. I mean, you're seeing all these players from all over the country wanting to play for Alabama. Head Coach DeBoer, and this guy hasn't even coached a down of football yet.
Yeah, that's right.
But he will. But he will very, very soon.
Donna Lee, thank you so much. Roll Tide to you as well. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. And and I mean, what a great gift. What a great way to kind of finish off a Father's Day Sunday.
Yeah.
When you look at you turn around and Alabama's bringing in another big recruit. Brett said he's going to be through your neck of the woods, Jasper.
Yeah, Mike says was up in T-Town and around and through my neck of the woods. Hope you enjoyed the Walker County and glad you made it out alive.
You were talking about the guys that sing your theme song, the West Jasper 7, possibly doing a concert at some point. That'd be a really big show. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Probably like one of those things, Brett, where like your theme song might lift their careers to new heights.
Could you imagine them on the Grammy stage one day?
Well, look, Flowood's 156 miles from Tuscaloosa.
That's nothing.
Yeah, nothing right there. Freddie Roach, as I mentioned before, in on this one. Simmons was in town, part of this big weekend of recruiting. Alabama has targeted him. If you guys are just getting here, he's a defensive lineman, and it adds to this class and what this coaching staff is doing. We just wanted to pop on and kind of say that. And then John says, you guys hating on Willie. I don't hate on Willie. That's Brett. I like Willie.
I see there. I caught the flack for it.
We're going to address this tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll address this tomorrow. But I do read the comments, and some of you were for me, some of you were against me. But guess what? I love you all the same. I really do. I really do. And I hope everyone has had a wonderful Father's Day. And let's kick back and relax and enjoy the rest of it with some great news as London Simmons commits to Alabama.
What do you think that this does to help Alabama's recruiting class, Brett? You look at On3 and Ohio State, LSU, Georgia, USC, and Clemson are all ahead of Alabama. Although Alabama has had a very strong push of late. This is going to help them. We're thinking that there's going to be some more guys commit within the next week, probably early this week. I think that it's going to continue. But, what do you think about the overall picture on this recruiting class for Alabama?
It's moving up, 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 and up. I mean, it's you know, he's done such a good job. This is you know, some people have said, you know, this class, you know, it's top 3 class. The way he's recruiting, and Larry makes a really good point, and because we weren't on the air this morning, um, we forgot about Aspirov, the punter that committed over the weekend as well. He is he's like the number 3 punter in the class, and he's from Fresno, California. Once again, another guy from California, and y'all are going to have to just absolutely give me big time kudos if I pronounce this guy right, because his name is Alex Aspirov. Aspirov.
Well, that's good, man. Hey,
hey, let me tell you something. You got to have a punter too. Why not get one of the top 3 in the nation to come? Hey, the kicking game's just as important as anything else out there. Trust me.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, when you don't have a good punter, don't forget about my guy Anderson Green, who was last year. I was a fraternity brother with his dad. So he was a punter. But you got to have those guys that punt the ball, man. You got to have – I mean, think about the years where Alabama has had to work through bad kicking games, bad special teams. So you're right. This weekend, I didn't even think about the punter when we started the show, but you're right. Now that's 2 more guys that Alabama has added to this class and 2 more top recruits. I just think Simmons – his stock is on the rise. He's trending up.
Yeah. And this is a great comment here too. We were talking about the ranking of these classes. Yeah. Mike Norvell, this close to coming to Alabama. I don't I think we hit a home run higher.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, he slid in and has just basically hit the ground running. Like he's been so motivated to adapt to our culture and understand our university. It feels like the guy's been here. He hasn't even coached a game yet. Feels like he's been here for a long time. I'm excited about the direction of the program, and I'm excited about what he's doing in recruiting. You know, and when you look at this class and Roll Tide, Terry, it just feels like Alabama is a ball moving forward.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it just feels like he's been here and lived in the area. It's just like he's been from Bug Tussle. He's lived in Bug Tussle up on the mountain of Cold Springs, and he came down off that mountain when Coach Saban retired. He came off that mountain there at Cold Springs and was down there in Bug Tussle, and he said, "I've got to go and continue this tradition." Well, guess what? 75 days, 23 hours, and 54 minutes. We're going to tee it off against Western Kentucky, and I can't wait.
Yeah, Daryl Johnson, the athlete coming from Eastman, Georgia. You got Derek Smith, who's from Selma, Alabama, another athlete. You got Keelan Russell, our guy from Duncanville, Texas, a winner at quarterback, a guy that says that his goal is to be the greatest quarterback in the history of Alabama. I love that, man. Come in with expectations. Then there's Chuck McDonald, the Santa Ana Mater Day pipeline. He's coming over to join Alabama at the cornerback spot. Anthony Rogers, a running back from Carver and Montgomery. Antonio Coleman, we love him from Saraland. Remember, he was the Auburn. He was Alabama, then went to Auburn. We flipped him back. Big defensive lineman. So he's someone that Simmons will be spending a lot of time with. Big Michael Carroll, whose dad played at Penn State from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Committed to Alabama last week. That's a 4-star offensive lineman. And the reason they call him Big Mike is he's 6'6", 310, but he's also a really smart guy. Big and smart. You love those guys on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Jaden Harmon, who's a linebacker from Rome, Georgia, another 4-star prospect. Abdul Sanders, yeah, guess where he went to high school? Mater Day. out in California. 4-star wide receiver. No, excuse me, 4-star linebacker, Sanders Zamir Smith, the athlete from North Carolina. He's exciting, from North Carolina in Denton, Maryland. And I don't know how I got this wrong, but he's an athlete, being that I was born in Maryland, but a 4-star athlete coming to Alabama, again, probably be in the secondary. Luke Metz, one of my favorite recruits that we got out of Mill Creek in Georgia, a linebacker at 6'3", 210. Love when he talks about Alabama, fired up to come. How about this guy? Remember when Alabama got this guy, Latsier Brooks, the wide receiver, setting records in Millville, New Jersey. Yeah, 4-star, coming down to Tuscaloosa. Mal Waltrip, dad played at Alabama on the line. He's coming to do that too at 6'5", 325, Phoenix City, Alabama. Miles Johnson, who's a linebacker from Bruton, Alabama, down near me. And then Alex, how do you say the last name? Alex? Aspiroff?
Aspiroff, yes.
Aspiroff, yeah. So that's the punter from Fresno, California. And then Landon Simmons, who just committed, just from Flowood, Mississippi, but just announced his commitment. He's a 3-star now. Look for him to move up in the rankings. So roll tide, people. This recruiting class is getting better and better and better. And for all of those people, and I know some of you guys are going to get on for me for saying this, but Lank, let them prove these guys wrong. And I mean, there's not only does your quarterback have motivation, not only does your team have motivation, but your head coach has motivation as well. You don't think that he hears all these people that said he couldn't recruit, that he wouldn't be able to replace Nick Saban, that he wouldn't be able to come into Alabama. He's not going to be able to game plan. He's not going to be able to win football games. He's not going to make it to the college football playoff. This guy's motivated to prove all of them wrong, and I'm excited to see what he can do. But this was a big one, Brett. Any final thoughts?
That little spill right there makes me want to run through a brick wall. I'm ready for it now, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Roll Tide, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us on here. And again,
happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. We will be with you bright and early in the morning, but just wanted to jump on. We've been kind of waiting around for this. Little birdie might have told us this was coming, and it did. So Simmons recruits. That's 2 this weekend. But little birdie said there might be some more. So keep your ear to the ground, as my grandfather used to say. Roll Tide, everybody. Thank you, and we will do it again really soon. And if you missed any of the show, make sure you go back and watch it. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you're an Alabama fan, and be part of our channel. Roll Tide.